And we're recording. Hey everyone, Zab here, your Web3 developer and community builder next door. And for today's video, as the title suggests, we will be deploying our own ERC20 smart contract on Polygon zkEVM. And I'll be showing you two ways that you could do it. The first one using Remix IDE, and the second one using the Thirdweb dashboard. Zero knowledge tech has been a very hot topic in the Web3 space for quite some time, but still a lot of us still has zero knowledge as to what all of this stuff are all about. So this video series aims to provide a starting point for anyone who is interested to interact and to learn more about zero knowledge and its applications in the blockchain space. For this tutorial, I will be showing you how you could create and deploy your own ERC20 smart contract on Polygon zkEVM without any coding or development experience at all. So if you're not familiar with what ERC20 token is, it is a token standard that we use in creating cryptocurrencies or tokens in the blockchain. So if you want to create a currency for a game, for an application, for a platform, you would most likely need to deal with an ERC20 token. So without further ado, let's head straight into building. So there are a few things that we would need to do first before we could deploy on Polygon zkEVM. So first, we want to make sure that we have an EVM compatible wallet. So I highly suggest that for this tutorial, you install MetaMask. So after doing that, we want to make sure that we have both the Goerli test network and the zkEVM test network on our MetaMask wallet. So if you don't have both of those networks, we could go to chainlist.org and then search Goerli. Make sure that you tick on include testnet. Add that to our MetaMask. So just click approve, switch network, and just do the same thing for the zkEVM testnet. After doing that, we would then need to acquire a little bit of Goerli ETH so that then we could bridge it to Polygon zkEVM testnet. So for us to acquire a little bit of Goerli Ethereum, we would need to go to a Goerli testnet faucet, or you could just hit me up on Twitter so I could give you a little bit of mine. So after acquiring Goerli ETH, so I believe I have a little bit of gETH on my balance. So after doing that, we would then need to bridge it to Polygon zkEVM. So just go to the Polygon wallet suite. So here, just go to wallet.polygon.technology and then make sure that you are on testnet products. So just click on bridge. Let's connect our wallet. So we would need to bridge Goerli ETH to zkEVM testnet funds. So for this example, I'll just be using maybe 50% of my current balance and then just hit bridge ETH to zkEVM testnet. Hit on confirm. So it might take a while for the transaction to be confirmed, as it is still on Ethereum testnet and still not on the blazingly fast Polygon zkEVM, in which we will be seeing later. So here we are able to see that the deposit transaction has been successful. So that means that we should receive it after approximately 15 minutes. So we'll just wait for that to arrive on our zkEVM testnet balance. Once we're able to bridge our ETH from Goerli to zkEVM testnet, we could now then proceed to our first way of deploying our ERC20 token, in which we will still see some code, but we will not be the one writing them. So let's head on to Remix IDE. So this is where we could write and deploy our own smart contract code. So you could go here by searching remix.ethereum.org. So the first thing we want to do here is to create a new file under the contracts folder. So let's just hit create new file, and then we would need to name it. So for this tutorial, I'll just be naming it zkEVM-token. So as you can see, it's still a blank Solidity file. So we could go to Contracts Wizard of OpenZeppelin so that we could generate our ERC20 token smart contract. So you could go here just by searching Open Zeppelin Contracts Wizard on your search engine or browser. So as you can see, there are a couple of other smart contract types that we could also generate, but for this tutorial, we'll just stick with ERC20. So for the settings, we could name our token. So for this tutorial, I'll just be naming it zkEVM, and for the symbol or ticker, I'll just be using zk. For the premint, so this is like the initial supply that we would want to have on our token once we have deployed it. So let's say I want 100 tokens as the initial supply, and we could also add features. So let's just add the basic ones, which is mint and burn features, so that we could create and also be able to burn tokens using our smart contract. So after doing that, we're pretty much all set. So we've now generated our ERC20 token smart contract. So let's just copy this and paste this on the blank file or blank Solidity file. So once you've done that, you would need to compile this by going to Solidity compiler. So to do that, you would just need to click on the big blue compile button here. So after doing that, we could now then deploy this to the blockchain. So to do that, let's go to deploy and run transactions. So what you want to make sure here that your environment is set to injected provider. So what it means is that it would be deployed to the network that your MetaMask wallet is set to. So make sure that your MetaMask wallet is on Polygon zkEVM testnet. So after making sure of that, we could now deploy it by clicking the orange deploy button here. So after clicking that, there should be a transaction that would pop up, and you would need to confirm that. So there, we could see that there's already a transaction. So let's just wait for a couple of seconds for that to confirm. So the great thing about Polygon zkEVM is that it is EVM equivalent, which means that any smart contract code that you have deployed on Ethereum or possibly on other EVM compatible blockchains would also be compatible with Polygon zkEVM with zero to minimal changes. So now, as shown on the console or on the Remix interface, that it has already been confirmed. So as you can see, it's just a couple of seconds of confirmation. So on the deployed contracts, we could see that there is a couple of things that we could do here. But first, let's confirm that the smart contract has really been deployed on the blockchain by copy and pasting this contract address on the zkEVM testnet explorer. So let's just paste this here. So you could go here by going to testnet-zkevm.polygonscan.com. So as you can see, it has already been confirmed. There is the transaction, there is the token name and also the ticker or the symbol, and also the address or the wallet that has created this smart contract. So now we have confirmed that. Let's go back to Remix IDE to check the features that we have added here and if we're able to interact with the smart contract. So as you can remember, we have added both the mint and burn features on the smart contract. So let's just use the mint feature so that we could create or generate new tokens. So for this one, you would need both an address and also the amount of tokens that you would want to mint. So let's just use the same wallet for the address, and for the amount, take note that we are using a different measurement here. So for this tutorial, I'll just add random zeros here for the amount. So after doing that, let's just add a couple of zeros. Just hit transact and confirm the transaction. So as you can see, there is a status that is shown here on the console. So it has already been confirmed. Let's check the testnet explorer once more. Let's refresh this. And there, we could see that we have already minted uh, tokens on the smart contract. So to really check if whether we have received it, let's copy the contract address once more so that we could import it in our MetaMask wallet. So let's just import this and then add custom token. So as you can see that we have received the initial supply, which is the 100 tokens that we have added earlier, and also we have received 0.01 zk tokens that we have minted a while ago. So there, we have been able to deploy our ERC20 token smart contract using Remix IDE as our first way of deployment. For the second way of deploying our ERC20 token, we will be using Thirdweb, which is a well-known Web3 development tool. So this way is perfect for those who don't want to see any lines of code and just want to deploy using a UI or a dashboard. So this is a see no code, write no code way. So now let's head on to thirdweb.com/explore. So here there are pre-built and audited smart contracts that we could use. So just look for the token. So here this is a smart contract or a token smart contract that has already integrated the features that we would need. So the only thing that we would need to do here is to deploy. We don't need to compile, just like what we did in our first way of deployment. So we would need to fill out the necessary fields, which is the name, and also the ticker. You could also add description and also add an image or an icon for your token. And you could also play around on other configurations here. So you could just check it out. But the important thing that you would need to configure here is the network. So make sure that your network is on Polygon zkEVM testnet, as you could also deploy this on other chains or networks. So after making sure of that, we could now then deploy this on the blockchain. So we will just need to wait for a transaction to pop up and confirm it. So after that, we have successfully deployed an ERC20 token on Polygon zkEVM testnet. So just to make sure, let's just copy the contract address and paste it on the zkEVM testnet explorer. So as you can see, it's already been recorded on the explorer. That means that it has been confirmed and has successfully been deployed. So now let's go back to the zk EVM token that we have deployed, and we could see now that we have a dashboard here, and we could do pretty much a lot of things here as well. So let's check whether we could interact with it using the features that it has. So here we could see that we could mint. So the great thing about this is we could now then use the measurement that we are used to as humans. So let's just mint like 100 additional supply and then confirm the transaction. So there, once we have already minted like an initial supply, we could now then use other features that are available here. We could now then burn or airdrop or transfer tokens to other wallets, and you are free to play around and check out what other features and settings that you could configure and play around on this dashboard. So for today's video, we're able to deploy our own ERC20 token on Polygon zkEVM without writing a single line of code. We're also able to use some Web3 development tools in which you would definitely encounter on your Web3 building journey. We're also able to learn and understand some of the basics and fundamental concepts of Web3 and blockchain development. That'll be all for today's building. This would be a continuous building on Polygon zkEVM, starting with the usual deployment of smart contracts like with this video, up to deploying and building full stack dApps, platforms, and games in Polygon zkEVM. So if you're able to deploy your own ERC20 token successfully, Feel free to tweet about your achievement and tag me in it at Bosubgel. Or if you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to reach me out or drop it on the official Discord server of Polygon. That'll be it, and happy building.